The story kicks off on a balcony overlooking a fantasy city. An older man with a goatee, Sung-rul the Cunning, gives our protagonist a simple yet impossible-sounding order: go gather some money. Our boy Zkimchulsooz absolutely loses his mind. He starts screaming that he needs $2 million in just 3 days for something called the patch, and has no clue how he's supposed to pull that off. Sung-rul, the cunning old man, is not having it. He smacks Chulsooz down for interrupting him and tells him to chill. He agrees that 2 million is impossible, but says that making around 2,000 is a plausible start. Chulsooz is still fuming, asking what good $2,000 will do. The old man explains that it's seed money, telling him you can't win the lottery if you don't even buy a ticket. Sung-rul lays out the core of his plan. Since Chulsooz is out of time and broke, his only real option is to gamble and bet everything on a single stroke of luck. The scene shifts to a bustling city square called Phoenix El Bazaar. Our boy Chulsooz is now holding a sign advertising himself as a turbo gamer who will clear any dungeon for 1,000 gold. The onlookers are confused and skeptical. A guy with purple hair, the booty priest, steps forward, intrigued by the turbo gamer claim. Chulsooz confidently says that's him. The priest calls his bluff, but Chulsooz doubles down, even offering a full refund if he fails. The booty priest challenges Chulsooz to clear a dungeon called the Count's Grand Library. Chulsooz, having never heard of it, just smirks and says he'd win anyway, giving off major main character energy. This sends the priest and his friends into a fit of laughter. They mock Chulsooz for the anime reference and inform him that a level 44 player like him can't even enter that dungeon. The priest tells him to get lost. The priest suddenly has a change of heart. He decides to hire Chulsooz for a different high-level dungeon, level 46, so he can level up quickly. They make the payment exchange. Now, at the dungeon entrance, the booty priest reveals his master plan to his friends. They'll let Chulsooz fail, leech some experience from a safe distance, and then get their money back. He then realizes Chulsooz has completely vanished. We see Chulsooz running for the hills with the money, laughing maniacally. He can't believe the idiots fell for such an obvious scam. He gives all the credit for the brilliant plan to the mastermind, Sung-rul the Cunning. Chulsooz is ecstatic, having made almost $4,000 in just 2 days. A system notification then pops up, informing him that the Goblin Lord is impressed with his scamming skills. Chulsooz is just confused. He remembers the Goblin Lord system and starts cursing it out for giving him a useless point. The system responds by giving him another Goblin point for his charming personality. Utterly fed up, Chulsooz tells the Goblin Lord system to go away. The scene changes to a dark cobblestone alley at night, where a random man is complaining about his bad day. Our boy Chulsooz bumps into the man. When the man tries to confront him, Chulsooz just keeps walking without a word, leaving the guy to think he's a total psycho. Chulsooz arrives at his destination, Beniro's Gotcha Shop. He walks up to the counter and tells the shopkeeper, Beniro, that he wants to buy everything. He's here to gamble it all. Beniro, the shopkeeper, welcomes him and reveals the top prizes: 2 legendary items, the Gauntlet of the Lion King and the Shooting Star Boots. The third prize is another legendary, the Guardian Ring. This is all it takes to convince Chulsooz. He excitedly declares that he's betting all 34,000 of his gold. The other patrons in the shop are floored. They can't believe this newcomer is about to blow his entire fortune in one go. A man with an eye patch smirks, sensing that this is going to be entertaining. Chulsoo hands over a bag of gold for his first set of pulls, and Beniro confirms the payment. Beniro dramatically presents the gotcha cards, setting the stage for the gamble. A system message announces a 10x pull, and 10 face-down cards appear on the table in front of Chulsoo. Chulsoo eagerly reaches for a card, praying for a jackpot, but then suddenly stops himself. A bold, muscular patron stops him, telling him not to rush and ruin the fun for everyone watching. The crowd cheers in agreement, encouraging him to take his time. Another patron, a gotcha veteran with a goatee, leans in and gives Chulsoo some inside info. He points out Beniro's strange pose, explaining that it's a tell. Beniro already knows what the cards are and is trying to hide his expression. The veteran continues, explaining that Beniro twitches whenever a good card is touched. The better the prize, the more he quivers. He notes that Beniro is currently reacting more intensely than he's ever seen before. The crowd is buzzing with excitement, convinced that the card Chulsoo is touching is a huge prize. Chulsoo flips it over to reveal a broken twig, a complete dud. He glares at the veteran who told him about the twitching. The patrons encourage him, reminding him that he's only spent a fraction of his gold. Fired up again, Chulsoo decides to keep going. The next pulls are a complete disaster. He gets nothing but junk items like poop, grapes, and more broken twigs. His frustration builds with every failed pull. Chulsoo finally snaps. He goes into a full-blown gambling rage, screaming and slamming his money on the table. The other patrons have to physically restrain him before he wrecks the place. After calming down, Chulsoo is left with only 10,000 gold. He slumps over the table in despair, wondering if the entire gotcha is just a big scam. The gotcha veteran suggests that when you're on a losing streak, you should let someone else pull for you. Chulsoo angrily tells him to get lost. However, the idea sticks in Chulsoo's head. Realizing he needs to break his streak of bad luck, he grabs a tiny goblin he apparently won as a gag prize and holds it up to the cards, telling it to pick one. The terrified goblin panics and flings the cards all over the room. Chulsoo screams in frustration, regretting his decision to trust the little green creature. The gotcha veteran suddenly notices Beniro, the shopkeeper, who is staring at one of the cards that landed on the floor with an expression of pure shock. Chulsoo follows Beniro's gaze and looks down at the single, isolated card on the floor, his own eyes widening in disbelief. Staring at the card, Chulsoo wonders if, against all odds, this could be his very first jackpot.